I am James Craik, and I am an independently published author. I'm here today because it's been a while since I've uploaded videos, and I've been saving things up. I'm sorry for the delay. The reason is I have a new book for sale. Not this one. I don't have the physicals to the new book. They're in the mail because I published through a company called Ingram Spark, and they took 2.5 weeks to approve the metadata for the paperbacks, so I couldn't actually place an order with a print company. But on April 15th, April 15th, my new fantasy isekai is going to be sent out to people. You can pre-order it. I got the link below. And yeah, I'm trying to get some day one sales here, okay? So this is my shill video. As I come back into the YouTubing stuff, there's going to be more like typical content of me. But I make this content to sell my books. The number one goal is selling my books. Now, why should you buy Low-Key Connections? It's a fun book. It's not as humorous as Infinite Money Glitch, but it definitely has some humor to it. It's more of just like light entertainment content. I had fun writing it, and it makes for a fun read. The idea is I want to take my own spin on the isekai formula, where it's not quite wish fulfillment, except it actually is. But the thing is that, like, when I say an isekai, the otherworld portal fantasy, which, that I'm just going to remind everybody that Narnia is a portal fantasy and John Carter, and it's actually a Western tradition that Japan adopted and just popularized. But I took the tropes, the ideas, the desires. I looked at what people are looking for in these stories and the things that they are looking to get vicariously fulfilled in these kind of stories, and what makes them popular and enjoyable. Like, if I'm trying to do deep art, you're going to see a Bastion novel, okay? If I'm just trying to have some fun, which is a perfectly valid form of book and reading that I encourage people to do. Not everything needs to be Dostoevsky, which, by the way, link to my book club. We might be reading Dostoevsky next month. I'm just saying. Free to join the book club. You should definitely join. We're going to be live streaming about Solomon Kane soon. But I looked at the isekai genre and said, well, there's some stupid stuff. There's some tropes. There's some things people don't like. What can I do better? What can I bring to the table? What life experiences from my time in college can I bring onto the page here to have some fun with? The problems I had, the things I wish would have happened, what would have motivated me, the struggles I was having, the desire I had to escape from the just treadmill of one exam after another into midterms, into projects, so that you can get a weekend off where you binge drink and then you wake up and you have more reports due. That nowadays people are just gonna throw it in a cloud or something, and it's just completely broken. But do you find yourself going to college because you think it's a safe choice? Do you think you should instead be taking a big risk? Would you be better off going on an adventure? What about an easy adventure? Now that's actually like the first chapter after the hook, let's say, which you should definitely go to Amazon now and read the first page, and you'll understand. Because the idea is that the main character gets approached by a very shady businessman at the very beginning, and the guy asks him, "You need an adventure, man. Why don't you go do something? Why don't you backpack across Europe?" Which is something that people used to do when I was younger, and it was significantly safer. There wasn't ongoing Slavic wars. Okay, maybe you can't afford that. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's actually not safe. What about something closer to home? Why not just road trip? Take a long weekend drive somewhere. What do you got to lose? But you probably don't do that. Why? Because it's expensive? Because you don't want to sleep in the back of your car for a night? What if I sold you a portal to a fantasy world? What if you got to go see magic and dragons and meet exiled gods and meet princesses and save the day? How much is that worth to you? How about $5,000 a month rental fee? Just sign here, bro. So I wanted to bring the fact of the portal existing. I wanted that to actually matter. Because if you look at like an anime like Mushoku Tensei or Overlord or Rising of the Shield Hero, or I could keep naming things. 99% of the time, like Tsukimichi, Moonlight Journey, Even if they bring up the fact that the character that's stuck in the fantasy world is trying to go back, it doesn't really matter. It's a fantasy story, and that's a big complaint people have about isekai. Is so often it's just like it didn't matter that it was an isekai. The slime isekai was just an excuse to throw somebody in. Like on a craft level, like it's easy to explain the world when the character needs to learn the world. That it makes it easier on the author, but that's just lazy. I don't support lazy writing. If you have a character that is starting on Earth and going to another world, it should matter. That should be relevant to the plot. So I said, okay, what if the portal stays open? What if there's back and forth? What if he still has his fucking exams at college and he's trying to also go on an adventure to rescue people and fight dragons with his friends? What does a plot look like when you just call up your buddy and you're like, bro, you're not going to believe this. You got to show up here. By the way, I need a 10-pound sledgehammer. Don't ask questions. And the guy goes, deal. I'll bring a 6-pack of beer. That's another thing. The characters are fun. That's all I really wanted to write with this. It is a group of friends going on an adventure, and that makes a lot of interactions humorous and lighthearted. But it doesn't undercut the tension when, say, someone gets kidnapped or someone gets arrested for getting in a street fight, or, they're trying to track down a long-lost brother. So there is a lot going on in my new book, Low-Key Connections. And you should definitely check it out to support the channel because I'm trying to get the lights on. I'm trying to make it go with this creative thing, and I can't do it without consumers that enjoy the work, and or just consumers that think it's crap and they come and tell me, James, you suck, you screwed this up, you had a typo on page 10, man. You wrote frubbing instead of rubbing, you fool. But yeah, stay tuned to the channel. Obviously, you can join the book club for free, but I'm going to be going back to regular content where I rant about things or play video games. I might get into some trash build terrain for 40k, for example. Might do some streams like that to see what works. But until then, Low-Key Connections will be available April 15th, unless I get the proof copies and they suck shit. Which could happen. It hasn't happened yet. I'm not exactly sure I'm happy with how much got cropped, because the girl here is supposed to be in a doorway, but Ingram Sparks' book builder kind of took away the doorway. Anyways, link in the description. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the like button. Tell your favorite YouTuber to buy my book and talk about it. Peace.